Grace, you mentioned something really important last week. You talked about in this unit you had to think outside yourself.
Well, when we were making the board games and stuff, we found out that they didn't really know much English, so you had to make the words really, really, really simple and make like the quiz cards with really short words and stuff.
Oh, you kind of had a deadline that you had to make them, or else they didn't get sent.
Made me feel really happy but then frustrated because like we kept on doing stuff and like some of the stuff we did like failed, so we had to redo it. Like the box, pretty sure we made a mistake in it and we had to redo it.
Well, there was some frustrating bits like making the box and the instructions, and also the pieces because you keep on losing them. And then once you were finished, it felt really good because you were going to give it to someone that actually needed it, and it was going to help them learn something new.
And you talked about there being creative chaos in your room. What was it like once, you know, in the middle of this inquiry learning, once it was just rolling? What was it like?
It was chaotic chaos. Creative chaos in the classroom. You couldn't see the carpet for cardboard or paper or colours or things like that, and it got to the point where I didn't actually have to instruct the kids on anything. They took their own initiative, was off their own back going, okay, we need to do this better, we need to improve this better, how are we going to do this? They would go to themselves on the computers, and I just spent most of my time standing in the corner of the classroom doing the final covering on the boxes, and they then went on to create their own game for either themselves or the ESOL class at school. So they were in the classroom from 8 o'clock in the morning, and I could not kick them out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They were very excited about doing it, and they still are, which is really cool.
Yeah, they're still very passionate to get this recorded.
Yeah.
What was kind of the highlight of all the learning for you?
Probably finishing the board games gave you a really good feeling that you've done it and you could get to see them.
Okay. And how long did it take? Like it was obviously it was about a term's work.
We spent 10 weeks
Okay.
working on it, so for the whole term, and we were able to. We emailed the refugee centre and asked them if we could come and visit. Initially, they said no. Because it was just too much and too many other dynamics were happening, but we decided to email again, just one last chance, and they said yes, we could take a car full of people. So I took about 4 children with me to the refugee centre so they could see hands-on, and they got to play with the games with the children and see actually how it worked, if it worked at all. And we worked out that a lot of these refugees had never ever played with a dice before, let alone known about instructions. So we then evaluated how we would do it differently. We probably would then have to add more instructions about how to use a dice. But it was actually really cool for us to go and do it because then we were able to show them hands-on how to use them, and they were so excited to receive these games.
Okay, I bet you were even more emotionally involved, Emma, because you were part of a team that went to actually drop these off to the refugees in the refugee, I don't know whether you call it refugee centre, is it? So do you want to tell us about that, honey, in a big voice about what it was like?
Well, it was really nice to give them something from us and let them know about New Zealand, and we could give them something from us, and when you give something to someone, they really feel touched.
I think it's a really cool thing you've kind of been at the teachers to get it recorded. Why?
Because it was really fun to make and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we really enjoyed doing it.
So you kind of felt really passionate about your learning?
Yeah.
Would you have any advice to give to teachers trialling some of the real life learning processes for the first time?
This was my first time at ever trying a tech thing, and it was my first time at really giving the whole process a go. And the way I did it is I just went, okay, I'm just going to give it a go, trial it, see what happens. But I had the children in the whole process, the whole way. So each child had a tech think process in their books. They had a think box copied into their books, and we just went through it together, part by part by part, and just worked through it that way, so that we could all become familiar with how to use organisers, how to use the whole process, because I was kind of at the same stage they were, if not behind them, because it was a year 5 class. So.
And obviously you've gone on to do more. So
Yeah, so we've tried it again, and we've done wind chimes this time for the garden outside, so that was really cool, and we really enjoyed doing that. And now we're making children's books.
I can't wait to see the outcome of that one.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing with us.
That's all right.
Yeah.